Do you need a stronghold to unlock for conquest? Lots of points in doing that. Have you heard of Umbara? That and more on this episode of the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. Our broadcast aspect today is EPC 386. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Since you mentioned it, I did that on our last Total Galactic War effort. I bought the Yavin 4 Stronghold. And then I was opening a little bit of it every day during that to get the conquest points. So
yeah,
it is a good way to get points.
It is
if you want.
Very good way.
I mean, if you want the stronghold, also.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just buying points with a lot of credits.
And if you don't have all the strongholds all unlocked,
yeah,
like I do, unfortunately.
Yeah. Right. So I have like part of my Yavin 4 Stronghold unlocked now, but I'll just unlock the rest next time we do Total Galactic War, probably. Because I still have plenty of strongholds that I have not decorated yet. I'm not like under pressure
right.
to do it, to unlock it. So yeah, but what have I been doing this week in SWTOR? I've been doing Galactic Seasons. I'm starting to feel the appeal of just paying for it now, and so that I don't have to think about it ever again. But I'm not going to, because I think this whole Galactic Seasons is hard for me because it's so far in the future.
Yeah.
And so it makes me feel like I'm not getting anywhere, which is just that's me. That's a personality thing. But also, if we have another season of Galactic Seasons, which I assume is the plan, Galactic Seasons is always going to be a backdrop. It's just always going to be there. So it's sort of like I gotta ratchet back a little bit on Galactic Seasons and not make it my main reason for existence, because it's going to be just like other things in the game that are just always there. You're just always working on them, though. But I have been working on my Galactic Seasons, and I'm about what did I say? What level I'm up to? I'll look it up right now. Yeah, 50. Working on 52,
which is a lot for sort of doing it casually.
Yeah, I mean, I only have to get to 100, right? Yeah, 100.
Yeah. So you're halfway
done.
I
am about half. Yeah, I am halfway done. I have been sort of keeping in mind each week, though, like I have it on a spreadsheet, not a comprehensive one, but just a list, right? And I put on there like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, and I just make a note of if I did any dailies on each day, because I'm kind of tracking, because I kind of want to know whether I'm getting around 40 points each week.
Right.
Because that's how I've decided for me that I know whether or not I'm on track.
Right.
And because otherwise I can believe I'm on track, but I will be way off track, or the other way around. I'll think I'm way off track and I'll be like ahead of schedule. So I like to have just the actual data, even though I am taking a more casual approach. So yeah, I'm ahead of it for this week because I've done one weekly, which that means, let's see, a weekly is 12 points. So that's 3 dailies I don't have to do.
Sure.
Anyway, and I have been doing, so a side effect really of Galactic Seasons has been to accomplish some conquests, and I also do some conquests anyway because I just enjoy doing that. I'm also working on leveling my new characters that I made this last time around, the Sorks. And let's see, MFN this week we did Terra from Beyond, which had been a while since we'd done that on MFN, and we did the whole thing. We ran about 10 or 15 minutes long, which we don't normally do, but we were standing there looking at the last boss, and so we said we'll just take one last attempt with no flight explanation, or hardly any flight explanation. We had tanking for us was a really excellent tank that had never done this fight before, and was really able to just roll with the punches as we were calling it. I say we, not me. Other people were calling out stuff throughout the fight, and people were right on top of killing their anomalies, and it just went really well. We didn't even have a full team. We had 14 or 15 people, so Yay for MFN.
Yeah.
And then tonight in our ops team, we decided to take a break from doing veteran mode stuff, and we went and did Temple of Sacrifice, because that is one of the priority objectives this week for anybody who happened to have it, which I happened to, so I lucked out. Yay, 12 points. And then we went and did Nightmare Nephra, and then we ended a little bit early after all that. So that went super smooth as well. So yeah, it's been a fun week. How are you doing, Max?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. I also had fun with MFN, as you said. We only had 14 on that last fight. And yes, because we had only had 5 minutes, it would have taken 15 minutes to explain the fight. So we said, jump on in. Odd
Yeah.
groups left, even groups right. Get on the tentacles, stand behind it. Somebody got the spit. All right, let's go. Our off tank there did a great job, because you really have to be on top of the tank swap in the second phase of the fight after you go in, and we were able to pull that off. And then it was only story mode, but even with 14, I was a little worried with people that had never been in there before and the anomalies. But we must have had a bunch of ringers, because we just destroyed them.
Yeah.
Just cleared that. The 2 times you do that, they just all popped like balloons. So that was not a problem.
Yeah, they did.
Barely
They
an
did.
inconvenience. It was great. So I was happy with that. And Temple of Sacrifice, haven't done that in a while. It was fun to get through that. Just line them up and knock them down tonight. I did get a little bit whiny.
You're because you got to do your favorite thing.
I had to run the bombs for the stupid Imperial Walker fight, the second fight in Temple of Sacrifice. They made me run the bombs, and I always whine about that. I want to shoot, pew pew. This is what I do. I got the guns. But no, I had to run the bombs, and you can't even use rocket out. So what good is that? You can't rocket out. You can rocket out back to the bombs when you need to go pick up a bomb. But I couldn't even like rocket out twice. So I ran the bombs. Corley made me run the bombs. Corley asked for volunteers. Everybody took one step back, and then Corley said, "Well, I guess Max is running the bombs." And that's how that worked. And I was a little bit whiny about it, but we hammered that fight too. The bosses went down really fast, so I only had to run 2 bombs. So then I was less whiny for the rest of the evening. I told them if I had to keep, they threatened for future fights to make sure they like really slow down the DPS, so I have to run like 6 or 7 bombs. So.
Right.
But yeah, I've been still hammering on the Galactic season. I doing it every day, getting everything done. So I'm as far as you can be, besides I haven't completed my weeklies this week. And I had the one that bugged out like week 1 or week 2 that I didn't submit a ticket or anything for them to give me credit. So technically I'm 3 points behind what you could be, minus the 2 weeklies I haven't finished. And well, I mean, yeah, I'm tired of it. But I'm at 76 out of 100. So it's even closer. I'm definitely seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I can probably grind it out. The upside for me grinding it out this way is I will have a longer break time before they start Galactic Season 2, that I'll have nothing. Conquest, as much as I care to or don't care to, I'm kind of looking forward to that. I've been doing dailies. I never liked dailies, but I've been doing dailies in a couple other MMOs. There's an event going on in Lotro. They've started an Endeavor system, which is kind of like a Galactic Season system in ESO. So I was trying that out for a couple days, and then there's an event going on in Guild Wars. I don't usually do all of this, but for some reason, because Galactic Seasons has me going on this path, I've been like bouncing in a couple of these other MMOs and seeing what their systems are like. And that's really burning me out. So I got to stop all of them. Stop all of those. Get Galactic Seasons done, and then relax and take a break and do whatever I want. That's what I'm gonna do. So
Yeah.
that has been me. I'm looking forward to doing whatever I want, and like some of the things, some of the events coming up in the next week or so, which we'll hear about in the news.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
But burying the lead, and we're not talking about the events yet. First, we'll talk about what may be coming next week, which is update 6.3.1. We haven't gotten an official announcement, but official enough from Jackie. She had a post, responded to somebody that was sort of like needling the dev team on the official forum, saying, "So about that update, it's been 3 weeks today since we were told the 6.3.1 was coming." And, which I wouldn't recommend, this whiny person was rewarded. They were almost as whiny as me running the bombs. This whiny person on the forums was rewarded by Jackie answering their questions and giving them what they want, and still not even having an official notice in news or an announcement elsewhere, just responding to somebody, telling them that they're bad. I probably wouldn't have done it that way, because you're sort of rewarding people now purposefully not waiting for official information and instead continuing just to, make mean posts in Jackie's general direction. So we'll see how that works out. I probably would have done it a different way. But it wasn't too bad of a post. They weren't like really mean to her or anything, or mean in general. But 6.3.1 should potentially be coming out next week. They're finalizing details, and there'll be patch notes, we expect, as soon as they have them ready. So we're looking forward to that, which we hope is going to clean up a bunch of sort of the little things that aren't working well in Galactic Seasons. So I didn't put it in the notes, but if you look at the rest of the dev tracker, there's a lot in there about, hey, this objective didn't work in Galactic Seasons. We did this operation and it didn't give us credit in Galactic Seasons. And every week we're getting more and more of those posts, and it's been dragging on. And now we're halfway through, or more than halfway through the season, and they haven't fixed this stuff. This is like your big thing. We kind of need it fixed. Got to fix it up. So hopefully that'll get us fixed. So that's that.
I mean, that did come up for us tonight in ops. We were like, so should we do the operation? Because what if it doesn't? What if we don't get credit?
One of our other ops teams reportedly did not get credit for running, I think, one of the one of the dread operations. They ran it on story mode and apparently didn't get credit this week. That would be really frustrating. So
we didn't have any trouble though when we ran Temple Sacrifice, so there's that. And the way I look at it anyway is it was fun to get together and play the game. And if I got my 6 points, then that 12 points, and that's just a plus.
Right. And I didn't even have, half of us didn't even have it as an objective. We just felt like doing it anyway. And then we did, Nightmare Nephra and one shot that, and nearly went off and started doing Nightmare Draxus because we just felt we've got Nephra on farm so hard. We're like, oh yeah, we'll just clear the rest of this on Nightmare, no problem. Sure.
I was perfectly content to go look at Pinterest while you guys figured out the maze.
Right. We didn't remember how to get through the maze, let alone how to do Draxus on Nightmare mode.
Because I knew that whole maze thing was going to drive me insane, because everyone was going to be like, sort of remember how it works, and it's like, no, let's go this way. No, we go this way, and everyone talking, and I would just look at Pinterest.
But we do have other fun stuff coming up next week. What do we got, Seema?
Well, this week, this is not right. This week we have. What do we have this week?
Nothing. This week's a week off, right?
Last week was the swoop races.
Right.
And then coming up now, Rakghoul Resurgence, which is going to be on Tatooine. That's starting on the 29th. A lot of things starting on the 29th.
Yes.
Because also Double XP is starting on the 29th, as well as Nar Shaddaa Nightlife.
Nar Shaddaa Nightlife, which will be running till August 10th, which is actually 6 weeks or whatever.
Something like that, yeah. Not 6
Not the
months.
2 weeks or not 6 months. No, the other extremes that I was thinking in my head, which is completely not what it is. I'll still miss it completely, no matter what it is. If it lasted 2 days or 2 years, uh, that's just the way my brain works.
It's really, I mean, it's funny that we talk about National Life, but nightlife, but it is like third priority to me because if I log in,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
going to do Galactic Seasons or Conquest or level,
or our
and
guild
then I'm gonna
events.
run right, and then I'm gonna run out of playtime before I get around to Nightlife. So we'll see.
Right.
I do want to put a few tokens in though.
Another thing that came up in the dev tracker, which I thought was worth noting, was there was some discussion about something of vengeance. What is that? Spirit of
Spirit of
vengeance.
vengeance.
Spirit of vengeance flashpoint is still quite difficult. People are still saying, from us story people that aren't even geared, we're still running 270s. Can you please throw us a bone? Jackie said they are looking hard at implementing a combat support droid for Spirit of Vengeance. It's not confirmed yet, and it's not in 6.3.1, but
So
it may come out and be part of that operation.
speaking of the combat droid, because I went and ran the solo version of Umbara
Yep.
today just to sort of, refresh it in my memory for tonight. And the mobs are super, 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 super easy to kill, even for
Yeah.
me. And
Super
that
easy.
is another way they could go.
Right.
I mean, there's no combat droid for that one.
And they just, yeah.
And instead they tuned it so that it's pretty much, well, I mean, I feel like they tuned it so that anyone could be successful, which is what they need for the story mode so that people can work their way through the story.
Right. Right. It's, yeah. I don't know why they didn't just tune it down just a bit instead of going and implementing the support
Well,
droid.
maybe they will.
Right. They could.
They did. Yeah.
In Guild and Community News, our monthly Friday event schedule is still rolling. We may postpone Mega for tomorrow night. We're going to see how that goes. Make sure we've got a solid our ringleader for Mega may be tied up, so we'll see how that goes. But we still have the first Friday is the Master Mode Flashpoint. Second Friday is the Hard Mode Ops training team, which will be back on schedule in a couple of weeks. Our third Friday is our Achievements Night, which we had on this past Friday. And our fourth Friday is our monthly Epic Guild activity. Monthly Epic Guild activity. I cannot do it justice like Nick Verne can. So keep an eye out for those. Join us in Discord, aie-guild.org. In the upper right, we've got that Discord link. You can look and see, jump in, see what those groups are running on those various Friday nights, which is that rotating schedule, and our Tuesday night, and our Ops nights, which are running practically every other night of the week. You can jump in and you can sub into those groups. We'd love to have you in there. Shout out to the chat room. We started a little bit early tonight because we finished up a little bit early on our Ops night. Thank you all for joining us in there, and we will chat with you a little bit more after the show. But right now, we're going to learn one of the many ways we can wield our prosperity as a weapon.
Wield your prosperity as a weapon.
Remember that? That is the Stronghold intro quest and kiosk, which is a good one. I like that.
I do too.
That he's got a whole spiel when you click on him the first time when you're going and getting a stronghold. Yes.
Oh, Shay.
So we got this idea, two reasons. One is because it is a stronghold, and we had this needing to unlock strongholds for conquest, especially when we were doing Total Galactic War last week. See, we both have our Conqueror of CZ198 titles up there. Woohoo! Did we even announce? Was the podcast 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it was after. We don't need to keep talking about our win. Anyway, unlocking a stronghold and unlocking rooms in a stronghold are both key objectives that give you a lot of points for conquest. if you need an extra stronghold to unlock, Umbara is one that many people haven't unlocked. So we're going to talk about that, plus the Umbara flashpoint, which is something we remembered but barely remembered, and a couple other flashpoints which I completely forgot about. One of them overall, Copero. I think I've run it once ever and never ran it again, and don't know why. It's out there. It's a thing. Maybe we'll talk about that in more detail in a future episode. But Copero and Nathema are all part of this story series that starts with the Umbara flashpoint. So let's walk upstairs and talk a little bit about it, Seema. We're here on Odessan. It's part of the story between finishing up with Knights of the Eternal Throne and before Iocath, the whole Iocath story really kicks off.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it leads it ultimately. Yeah, I mean you're uncovering what that's what the traitor is off doing. So there's going to be spoilers. Spoilers here. Spoiler time. Theron's the traitor.
But certain key things have already happened on Iocath.
Have they? So they've already discovered Iocath at this point?
Yeah. That's the way I read it. And when you're in the flashpoint, they're saying things like, "This is for Jace Malcolm."
Oh, right. Yes, they are. I'm taking you down, Commander. This is for Jace Malcolm. So we've already gotten the intro to Iocath. We're trying to figure out what the Order of Zildrog is up to there, because they were there on Iocath also. And Theron gets a line in on it and needs to infiltrate and go in deep cover, so deep that he needs to try to shoot you in the face to with no one around, no witnesses. He has to shoot you in the face practically just to really fulfill his method acting of deep cover.
Well,
I didn't really
to make it convincing for the Order of Zildrog.
But they weren't there.
Who,
there was nobody there. It was just
they orchestrated the whole Iocath, the Empire and the Republic and the Alliance all coming to Iocath at the same time.
Yes, they did. So you go to kick it off, you have to go up into this Alliance staging room on Odessan. And when you get up here, this is where the entrance to the series of 3 flashpoints are. So Crisis on Umbara is the Umbara flashpoint that we'll be talking about tonight. Part 2 is Traitor Among the Chiss. So after Umbara and the betrayal on Umbara, Theron continues to infiltrate the Chiss to get all this information about what's going on Iocath. And then Nathema Conspiracy is where you sort of connect back up. He comes clean about being undercover, and you go, so the blaster bolt to the face and blowing me up on the train. Oh, no harm, no foul.
Just best intentions.
Yeah. There's no other way that could have been handled besides, shooting me in the face. So yeah, that's all cool. Cool, bro. I
have to say though, Theron's personality and his history is that he sometimes thinks he's the only one who knows best.
Yeah, and sort of right. Sort of goes off half-cocked and not really thinking things through, seemingly, and gets a little bit of a chip on his shoulder and has to just go. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He knows best, and he's just going to go off and do a thing. And yeah, Satil Shan, his mom, is the lead of the Jedi Council, one of the most respected senior wise people in the whole, in the whole Republic. But nah, she doesn't know what's best for me. All right, Theron. Anyway. So he's a little rebellious teen and continues to play that part here. The reason we used to want to really do this real good is because of these 2 vendors over here. Why don't you talk about these vendors and why they mattered, why Umbara mattered, which does not now.
So a big thing for me was these schematics to get the stem and the adrenal and the med pack that were reusable.
Yeah.
So there used to be a reusable version that you could learn through whatever they called it back in the day, when you would re-engineer or de-engineer or whatever it was called. You could basically learn it And then they decided that they didn't like tuning fights with the knowledge that people could have these reusable things, and so they decided not to do that anymore. But then they brought them back for this. So right now you can buy them for credits. They're not the max level anymore. But back when this was new and they were the max level, I believe you had to buy them with either you had to buy them with the currency or you had to have a certain rep level. So that was one reason why we ran the
Take it easy.
Flashpoint over and over.
Yep.
Pick the right place to
And
shop.
then most of this stuff on the other vendor, same thing. You had to have the currency with the, what were they called? There's like the Umbara tokens or Umbara
Alliance.
recon data. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alliance recon data. So it would drop Alliance recon data, and that was the currency. And one of the things that you would buy with the currency was the invitation to the trader's quarters. Other cool things in here too. So there was a nice legacy bound armor set, which is kind of cool and still cool. This is the Umbaran Guardian's Visage. Here, let me preview it for you. Kind of cool. So check that out. It's like kind of this combination of this like quilted nylon pattern stuff with armor and a pretty cool faceplate. Actually, I kind of like this. This is kind of cool. It's like a North Face jacket on your quadriceps, and then these cool armor pieces and a pretty cool sort of green tinged reflective faceplate. And then there's a cool mount, the Indigo Mantor, that you can get. And I know I have this
purple.
mount. It is purple. It's like a cross between a bird, lizard, and a mantis. And then the invitation to the trader's quarters. And the trader's quarters, once you got the invitation, you were allowed to use this elevator right over here. Yeah. And this elevator, once you used it, then you could just... And the hard part was getting all the tokens to be able to use the elevator. And then it was cheap to get the Stronghold at the Stronghold terminal once you got into here.
And there was a weekly max too on the amount of currency you could get.
Right.
So also before we leave this vendor though, Nestle Vacan, this is also where you buy Iocas Recombinator, which is one of the mats for making dark projects. Making dark projects, there's several reasons why you would do that. One is for conquest, but you can buy them on the GTN, but if you come here, they're 260K on the GTN. They'll be more because people are coming here to buy them and then reselling them on the GTN. Yeah. So
for profit.
Yes.
Stop by again.
And it's worth it. It's worth it to buy them, I think, because dark projects, if you sell dark projects, they sell for way more than that. So.
And you need 3 dark projects plus 4 million credits for the compendium, which boosts your companion to level 50.
Correct.
Which is something we.
That's what I use them for.
Correct. Yeah, so do I. But I make my own dark projects. Don't buy a dark project. Make it. Because you'll get a whole bunch of conquest points for it. And it'll be cheaper to make it than to buy it. And any crafting profession can make it. You just need to, I think you need to be about level, crafting level 600, maybe only 500 out of 7. And then you'll be able to just get the recipe from the trainer and you can make them. But yeah,
and it takes like 20 minutes. So if you have somebody who's close to conquest, you can just make a dark project. It's a good way to, and then you go like finish the dishes and come back and there's Bob's your.
Yeah, and it's a fair amount. Brother. It's not going to get you to target, but
no, that's why I said if you're close already.
Yeah, it's only like a couple thousand, 2,000-3,000. Is it even an objective this week? I don't see it in the list.
It is.
Can you? Do you know? Well, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. I'm not gonna. No, see, no, I can't stop looking.
Well, I mean, okay. If you're gonna sort by name, go to the C's because it's a crafting thing.
Crafting dark project 9,000. So it's 9,000 repeatable daily.
Yeah.
Not bad. But then once you get to this terminal, so now you don't have to do any of that Alliance Recon data. It doesn't even exist in the game anymore. Now you just pay credits for anything you want off those vendors to unlock the whatever we call this room here, the trading console room, staging console, stronghold, traders quarters. That's what it is. Traders quarters. 3,010,000 credits. Well, I don't know how they calculated that out.
I know. I was wondering if there's like a rep, if it's a little bit more, like something even like 4 million, but since we have, I don't know.
I
Is
don't
there a
know.
rep? But I thought
Like
about
some
that too.
kind of
It's like when I
weird
looked at it, I'm like,
discount, but-
that's a weird number. Yeah.
So for 3,010,000 credits, you get to unlock the Trader's Quarters, and then you come up here, and then it's only 5,000 credits to unlock the Stronghold, or 20 cartel coins. And we will show you the Stronghold at the end, maybe in about 10, 15 minutes. But first, we're going to show you the flashpoint, which is what the Stronghold is based on. So kind of cool. I thought you said, oh yeah, Blues Aaron, the train enthusiast, is the one who's sort of offering you the Stronghold here. She's waving her arms around, making a sales pitch to this shady character.
Clearly talking about trains.
Yes. Woo, woo. I love them trains. Choo choo, just call me Choo Choo Charlie. Yep. Let's go into the Stronghold. Hey! Big Fat Streaker making an appearance. Running around.
Nice.
Well
It's
played.
been a while.
That's a
It's been a
throwback.
while.
Yeah, we have probably not seen Big Fat Streaker in a year. That is awesome to see. Like, I just running away. All right, so we're going to go here into the Stronghold. You'll be able to see the intro cutscene, which is very cool and sort of really sets the stage. The group leader must reset the... Wait, I thought I had to reset. Now it's putting me in anyway. I guess I don't have to reset. Press spacebar to continue. Can do. All right, here we go. So you have a shuttle that's coming in. This is the planet of Umbara, which has appeared, is canon. It's appeared in the Clone Wars animated series and a couple of the books. None of the movies yet. And here it is. So there's a hover train going through these grav rings, and your shuttle hovers above it, and you jump down onto the top of the train, and now you start the flashpoint on this moving train heading off towards this city in the distance. Very, very cool. So, I mean, look at this. How is this for an environment? It's you're on top of a moving train that you just got dropped off on by a shuttle. And as you said, Seema, I kind of like how you're sort of headed off into this city in the distance, but you never actually arrive there. It's just a super
And I like
cool...
how the train is actually going through those, like, I don't know, gravity rings or whatever they are.
Yep, gravity hover rings that are themselves hovering. You see like fog swirling off of the edges of the train. You can look at this sort of this shadowy, shady surface of Umbara. Umbara is known as like a shadow planet. It's sort of always in shadow, and that's part of the charm and why bad guys have set up shop there and why the clones had to do some stuff. Got these cool shuttle ships flying above. There's a race. I forgot half the lore, but there's like a race of aliens that live here that the clones had to battle against. I think some of the Sith at the time, Dooku was doing some nefarious things here or something. Anyway, cool environment. And then you now need to, you're not at the very back of the train. In fact, you're coming in about halfway. Can you go back? What happens if you go back this way? I think you fall off and die. So don't do that. But as you progress down the train, the first half of the flashpoint is just the train. So you're running across the top surface of the train, and enemies will pop out. So here you see the Republic. This is over on the Imperial side. These Republic guys will pop up and start fighting you. You can knock them off the train. Boom.
This is too easy.
Later, sucker. And so they'll come up and fight you on the top. At other points, you need to jump down, sort of onto the deck of the train below. But as we said, I mean, look at these. I could just like one-shot any of these. Boom, one shot. I didn't, like Shay Vizsla is like one-shotting these guys. We're in story mode. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. One thing that is difficult in the harder modes, so if you look down here, there's a bunch of traps on the train too. These square tiles that you can sort of hover over that are lit up blue, and the faint blue laser trigger lines trigger electric shocks on the floor. The pressure pads, the turret defense pressure pads, pop up turrets that you have to fight. So some cool trap kind of stuff that you have to puzzle your way around. Down here by where you start, you can pick up a data pad that will disarm these traps. There it is over on the left. Access codes for the pressure pad activated turret system. Do not lose these. Head technician Canny. On story mode, just walk right through them. Just step on everything. Doesn't matter. Pop up all the turrets. You're just going to one-shot the turrets anyway. On the harder modes, all these explosive canisters are kind of useful and fun to blow up. But yeah, all this stuff is... Oh, the turret. Oh, it's dead. Oh, blew up a turret. As Shay Vizsla says, not even a challenge. Look,
you can pretty easily die here if you don't jump down and just... Well, you can't not jump down here, but there's a spot later on where if you keep going on top, a robot will kill you.
You can also get knocked off the train by one of the bosses that we'll get to here in a second.
Ooh.
So you don't want
that sounds like fun.
Don't want that to happen to you. You want it to happen to your friends, because that's always funny. Your friends get knocked off the train. But yeah, so the first half, I guess let's just run it. I guess it's gonna be really fast anyway. I'm gonna set Shay Vizsla to damage. I guess we're gonna kill these guys.
Not even a challenge.
I'm gonna set Shay to damage, and she can just plow all this stuff down. I didn't use any of these either, but you can get these flame canisters that give you an extra ability that like burn things.
It actually interferes with heroic moment.
What does having the flame canister?
Yeah, because I pulled out heroic moment at one point, and then I hit the key to do one of the abilities, and the flame thing came back, and heroic moment was gone.
Ah, interesting. So here there's a ladder. You got to go back up on top of the train. You go down here a little bit. Now you got to jump back down. You can actually wind your way down the sides a bit and not have to trigger any of the traps or pressure plates. Sort of wind your way past half of them, which is nice. But you still need to fight the trash. And all these guys are blowing up. And then your first mini boss is here. This isn't actual. Oh no, it's I guess the next one.
Almost to the mini boss.
There's a mini boss at this next door, I believe. See what they're yelling? Gonna take you down, Commander. This is for Chase Malcolm. The Umbara troopers are yelling at you. They're quite angry. So here's the foreman to retrieve the console. So he's like a first little mini boss, and you have to defeat him. See, he had a little bit of a knockback. Did you almost get knocked off the train?
Almost, yeah. But I had a wall behind me.
So you defeat him, and then you click on this little data pad, and you get the passcodes to light up the console. Click the console, and you get a magnetic grapple point, and you grapple up back up to the top. And this is where, as Seema said, you fight these two guys, and then you do not want to try to keep fighting your way. Actually, it's more than two. Let's see how many I can knock out. Boom.
This is too easy.
So those two defensive turrets, I bet I'm gonna try to. No, it's better if you don't shoot them, because then they stay in combat. But if you walked up and tried to shoot those turrets, you'll be either fighting for a long, long time, or you'll just die. Instead, what you're supposed to do is jump down this hole back down below, and you're
Stay down.
like pressing all the turrets. I could disable this because I have the disabler thing, don't I? How do I disable it?
Someone clean up this mess.
I had the thing to disable it.
Not even a challenge.
The pad. Oh well. And then if you click on one of these refined colto tanks, the first time you click on it, I think you get a codex entry.
I like that you kick them.
And then you get to your first boss fight. So the first boss fight is these two guys, an assassin and technician Canny, the engineer. The assassin, elite shadow assassin, runs all around, stealths a little bit, and tries to kill you. And then the technician pops up these turrets and continues to repair. So you have to TPS down the turret, and then it'll continue to repair those turrets as you go through as well. So I guess let's do this. We won't do the whole. We'll stop after this, but let's finish these guys just till we get off the train. Because did you see that big knockback? So if you're by the side of the train, bad things can happen. Look, they're just like destroying this assassin. So there, Kanini put up these two turrets. But there is an interesting part in the middle if you are not actually in the story, where you do the part and it does not reveal sort of story spoilers, but still gives you a little bit of a cutscene of what's going on without spoiling, which is a kind of cool effect. So there we go. Got him. Ooh, tech fragments and process isotope stabilizer even. Nice. Then you get your story beat in the middle of, or sort of at the engine part of the train. I think you have to click on it too, Seema. The story.
Sorry, I was looking at my recipe for dark projects because I can never get the various.
I thought you were gonna say recipe for like chicken pot pie. You were on Pinterest.
No. It's like, wait, is that the one for dark project? It's not.
So here we go. So if you're not actually in the story, so it won't spoil it, it has the traitor wearing a mask. And they detonate the thing in front of you, and it obfuscates what's actually going on. When you do it in the story, as we said, spoiler, it's actually Theron. Theron takes down the hood and says, he tells you a whole story. He really plays it up like, the Alliance is dumb. I hate you guys. I'm gonna blow you up. So I don't know if he had a bug on him or something, and that he had to place it to some remote crowd. I don't see anyone else. I killed everybody else on the whole train. I don't know who he had to ham it up for, but he blows up the tracks, he jumps off the train on a speeder, and then leaves you to apparently die. And maybe he knew all along you'd be able to get off, I guess. I read an interesting blog post. I was going back and doing some research. Read an interesting blog post that this was especially jarring for people who played female characters and had romanced Theron, because this was potentially the second of their romantic partners that had tried to kill them, because if you had romanced what's his name on the Imperial side,
Quinn?
Quinn, Malavai Quinn, he tries to kill you and turns against you, and you have a dark side choice. Well, you used to have a dark side choice so you could kill him. They took that away in beta because people didn't like that they could permanently lose one of their companions.
Right. They didn't like that after they killed him, he was gone.
That he was dead. Choices matter. Yeah. But this is potentially the second, romantic interest that tries to kill you. That I guess that's a little bit traumatic. Anyways, the second half of the flashpoint then happens outside on the surface of Umbara, where you battle your way through a few Umbaran troopers that are fighting off the wildlife. You fight through a couple creature bosses. You're chasing, in theory, you're chasing Theron through the surface here as he's tried to escape, and then you fight a big spider tank at the end. Quite a difficult fight, and a relatively solid fight on the more difficult modes. Super easy on the story mode. So if you haven't done it and you want to see it, doing it on story mode is, as we said, quite easy. Easy to go through, and easy to sort of get the feel of the story. So if you play through it as a chapter, or you're just going here on story mode, definitely recommend giving it a shot at least once. It's
And
it's a solid
this
piece of content.
purple and pink, this purple and hot pink color theme is really unique for the game too.
Right. And this is a canon planet. It'd be fun if you could come back here. There was a time, for example, where, what's the planet that Scum and Villainy is on?
Darvanis.
Darvanis. There was a time when Darvanis only existed in the Operation Scum and Villainy, and then it was added in one of the chapters in Knights of the Fallen Empire, Knights of the Eternal Throne, and now you can go back to Darvanis as a planet.
Whenever you want.
I wish you could come back here. And they open it up a little bit, and maybe have some grade 11 gathering nodes and a reason to come here. Maybe add a couple dailies. Open these places back up. Give us. We go to the same places all the time. There's 3 flashpoints, as we said in this series. The second one is even potentially a more important planet, which is Copero, the home planet of the Chiss. And as I said, I played through that flashpoint once ever and had no reason to ever go back, and just forgot about it. Could go back. It's in the flashpoint list. In fact, I didn't even think it was. So I looked. It's in the flashpoint list. Nathema and Copero and Umbara are all in the flashpoint list. And I never realized that. So here it is: Traitor Among the Chiss, Nathema Conspiracy, and something. Yeah, Traitor Among the Chiss is Copero, and the Umbara one is Crisis on Umbara, I believe. I don't know. It's somewhere around here. These are in no particular order, apparently, as happens. Oh, maybe because I'm in it, I can't pick it. Maybe that's it. Yes, that's why. So cool. Anything else for inside here? There is a bonus boss that is definitely challenging on the harder modes. Did you go, when you did this solo, did you go shoot the bonus boss also?
Yeah, I did.
Did you do it wrong like I did and just kill the ads first?
I did not kill the ads first, no.
If you kill the ads first, it kind of gets a stack of enrage for each of its 2 ads that you kill. It's a creature boss. As again, in story mode, I just AoE'd him down, killed the ads. It was all enraged. Didn't worry about it. Just shot it in the face a couple times and it was dead. So do it. Now I want look out there. Look out there into the distance. I want to go out there. Should we go out there, Seema?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Here we go. I'm coming down here. Oh, I'm dead. That's what we call a death volume. And
I wanted to jump off there earlier, and I thought, no, that will be disruptive. So I'm like, yay, thank you.
There's a very cool part where you have to kill, at the end of this first section, you have to kill a big creature monster, and there's no way to get out of that area of the map until you kill the creature monster, and a big piece of the train wreck then comes crashing down and makes a bridge for you to walk up out of the area and get out. I thought that was a little cool effect that they added here in the middle.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here and go take a look at the Stronghold. Shall I invite you, Seema?
Yes, please do.
Invite group. There you go. Travel to Stronghold. Don't mind if I do. So if you pay the 3 million credits, you do get the Stronghold. There are rooms to unlock. I have it all unlocked, so we'll be able to see the whole thing. It's relatively straightforward. It's the Umbara train.
No pun intended.
Straight and moving forward. Do you like this? The chairs. So back in the day, when in order to get 100% completion in your full stronghold bonus for conquest, you had to decorate your strongholds to 100%. House of Chairs and 50 emblems of whatever this emblem is. There's the bounty hunter emblem and the trooper emblem up there overhead. But hey, it's a train car, so it's a bunch of seating. It's a passenger train car. So that's what I did in these first couple train rooms is put a whole bunch of chairs. Look, here's another train car full of chairs. Here's some posters on the walls, and then look here. Oh, more chairs. Just all bunch of chairs.
So your Umbara stronghold is a passenger train.
Yes, it certainly is.
This is the view deck.
I do have a party car in the middle though that we'll get to. On top of the train, there are deco hooks on top of the train, and for some reason I have Esne or Avela, which one of the two twins from Iocas, who's standing up here on top of the train. She's just standing there by herself.
From Gods from the Machine.
Yep, reclaimed twin droid Model A. So that must be Esne. So she's just standing. I think I had most of the Iocas droids stacked up on top of the train, but I moved them to other strongholds. And I didn't have to deco this anymore. Stole some decos. There's a speeder bike built into the train here that you can take to, since this is quite a long stronghold, so if you look at the map, we're only a third of the way through here. You can take that speeder to get up to the front of the stronghold, which is kind of cool, or take it to get back. It does not count as a speeder ride if you are lower level and you are trying to get the credit for it for conquest. You can't.
I never thought of trying that.
It does not count as hailing a taxi.
The one on the fleet does, however.
I thought I used to have here. This used to be a battle pit for creatures. Boy, I really stripped this place down, didn't I? But my party car is all still fixed up. Here we go. Here's party time. I got my Life Day Revelers who throw snowballs at you and make you glitter. I got the 2 dance floors in here. You click on actually it's 4. It's 4 dance floors. I decked this out for the holiday party actually. So there's multiple of the revelers. There's the trees. There's the mount with the lights. Go ahead, Seema, belt out some tunes. Yes, if you click on the microphone, you start.
What I love about this is I'm just filled with confidence.
You get the disco ball and you're really getting down. Yeah, you're really getting into it. You got the hand motions and all. What song are you singing, Seema?
I Will Survive.
Yeah. As long as I know how to love, I know I'll be alive. God, I have to live. I got all my love to give. I will survive. Yeah, very good. I love that. That sounds really good. And here's some of my mounts. A couple more of the Christmas mounts decked out here. But yeah, so really cool stronghold. And it just goes forever. It keeps on trucking. It keeps on driving and never stops. It's like Blaine the train. It never ends. It keeps on moving. And here's your magnetic grapple. If you want to get up to the front cab, which you can still do. I did put.
See, the Emerald City up there never gets any closer.
I thought the same thing. I felt it. Emerald City. That's what it reminded me of too. Wow, it's funny you say that. I looked at that city off of the distance, and I was thinking, paying no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
I did put this big giant missile launcher at the front of my train for a little defense. I forgot where you get this. I think you might get this from Katamimu. Do you get it from Katamimu? Keep firing! Keep firing! I think that's where. No, this comes from
Well-
Ravagers. This is the storm carrier rocket from Ravagers.
It's like,
Drops off
in
quartz.
case anyone thought you might be friendly, now they know for sure you're
Yes.
not.
Yeah, that's not an obvious sign of aggression. Giant missile on the front of the train. And I'm not compensating, so don't put those jokes on me. Don't put that evil on me. Can you get into the cab? I think you can as well. Yeah, look, you can even get into the engine. Choo choo, Charlie was an engineer. There you go. You can sit there. I'm sitting in the. Why did Shea Vizsla come sit on my lap? What are you doing, Shea Vizsla? It's kind of awkward. Get on out of there.
What?
What? She's stuck. She's stuck in the chair. She will not leave the chair. Fine. You fine. You can drive the train. Very cool though. So now you have one of these, right, Emma?
I
You
do.
had one.
Yeah.
You had one of these.
Yeah.
What was the one that you said that you unlocked then recently?
Yavin 4.
Yavin 4. Yavin 4 is my favorite stronghold, and you hadn't unlocked it until 2 weeks ago?
Right. Right. Because, you know.
That's my home. Yavin 4 is where I live.
I
It's
live
the
in
only stronghold I
Narshada.
have decorated 100% as well. I have other strongholds that are at 100% completion, but they're houses of chairs. Yavin 4 is the only one that I actually decorated and have a theme to each area and, you know, cool stuff to go look at. Yavin 4 is my favorite stronghold. Look at all these hooks. Oh no, here's a second. Yeah, no, that's the same first rocket. There's another rocket up there. Aggressive. Most aggressive. So yeah, did you take this? Here, we'll take the speeder ride before we wrap up. Where's the speeder? Did you take it? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I did.
Hide hooks. And when you take the speeder, you fly down the side of the train. It's kind of cool.
That's kind of some kind of fancy fly in there.
Weaving in and out of the moving train on your hover bike. Yeah. it
And
sure
landing
is.
where you want to land on a moving target.
Yeah, that's some slick moving. That's some slick moves there. Good moves. Keep it up. So there we go. Cool flashpoint. Cool theme. Pretty cool story. You know, I had some. You know, went back and forth on it. It did have, apparently the chat room said earlier, I forgot who said it, but I guess Timothy Zahn jumped in the middle of that storyline by the time you get to Capero and helped out with some of the writing, you know, collaborated on some of the writing. So that's cool. We'll have to, well, maybe next podcast we'll check out Capero and we'll go back to we'll dive into that flashpoint. We'll visit the planet. We'll talk about the story of what happens there. Because it's, as we said, it's a very significant planet in Star Wars lore. It'd be nice to see maybe a Chiss movie. Why am I blanking on our
Thrawn.
Thrawn? Yeah, a Thrawn movie, and visit Capero in a Thrawn movie, or a Thrawn series on Netflix. Wouldn't that, or on Disney Plus? I guess it would be. Wouldn't that be
Yes.
cool? Thrawn, yes, a Thrawn series on Disney Plus. I think we should do that, and then maybe
With
we'll
Benedict
wrap it up
Cumberbatch
on
as Thrawn.
with Benedict Cumberbatch as Thrawn. Wow, Seema, you just won the internet.
Well, I first saw the idea on the internet, so it follows.
That's second only to Keanu Reeves as Revan, which would
Yeah.
be amazing. And
That would
there's
be.
fan art of Keanu Reeves as Revan. So maybe we'll do that. But for now, I think we're wrapped up for today. Recommend you go and get this stronghold as quick as possible. And then I recommend you check us out at aie-guild.org. For more information on this podcast, you can follow me on Twitter at MaxTheGray. But really, for getting in touch with Seema and I on a daily basis, on really an hourly basis, we're on all the time.
Yeah.
On our guild Discord, aie-guild.org has the Discord link in the upper right. We have guilds on Starforge on the Imperial and the Republic side. We have multiple channels in there for Star Wars, and we have all the other channels for all the other games and community stuff we have going on. We have Dungeons and Dragons. We have board games groups running twice a month. We have a sci-fi fantasy book club, and it sounds like we're going to have another book club discussion next week sometime. Like Theris wanted to have it on Thursday. I can't do it on Thursday, like Theris, because I have my ops night on Thursday, so maybe we'll do it next Friday. Lots of fun stuff. Get in there. That's why we do this podcast. We'd love to have you come join us for all the things we do. And with that, we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.